Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jovan, owner of Rent with Jovan, and today we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff, kind of like a day in the life video. First stop is we have to head to one of my properties in Houston to pretty much move out. Property worked well for us about a year. Last few months, however, didn't really seem good for longevity, so we decided not to renew our lease. We're going to be moving out and making sure everything looks good, going over everything, heading on out. And then later on today, I've actually partnered with a local group in Houston who throws events. So we're going to go over there. That event is going to be at one of my other properties in Houston. And that's pretty much going to bring awareness to the properties. We're going to have a bunch of people. It should be a great time. So let's start the day. So walking into the house right now, and we have one bedroom on this lower level. It also has an ensuite bath. Also the garage that holds 2 cars. So this is floor number 2. And we have here the open concept living room, dining room, and kitchen. And even though I said that, yes, it's going to be a move out, this property actually came fully furnished. Pretty much everything that you see here is going to stay with the property. And we're just pretty much here for a final walkthrough and inspection to make sure everything has been completed as far as blue taped items for repairs. Last night I had a painter come in and do touch-ups and also repair of any furniture. And this property also had a built-in washer and dryer right on that main level, so it was very convenient. Outside here, we also have our balcony. We also have a half bath on this level as well. Moving up to the 3rd floor, there's 3 more bedrooms up here. And forgive the darkness, there is no electricity, so this is the first room. Had a bunk bed. Here's the first full bathroom. And 2nd bedroom here. They share a bathroom with the other room. And lastly right here is the master bedroom, which has a king bed and also a ensuite bathroom. So we just finished cleaning out the house, the items that belong to me versus things that were already provided by the management company. And as you can see, my trunk is kind of full. So now we're off to the garage to put that stuff away. So hopefully we can use it in the future. So the backstory behind this house is we started it last year in July, and it came fully furnished. At the time, the price was a little bit higher just because it's furnished, and we understood that. And just to get a smaller barrier to entry, we jumped on it, and it had a really nice roof, which I forgot to show you, but the rooftop was really nice, and you were able to see downtown Houston. So that was like the catch for us. So the roof wasn't furnished at all, so we put a lot of effort and money into the roof. We put pergola, chairs, dining. You can go up there, and it worked really well for once it started all the way until about, I would say, the last 3 months. Then for some reason, it just started to not get booked as much. The rates started going lower. I use a pricing software called Price Labs, and it automatically tracks supply and demand. So demand naturally went down, which meant the prices had to come down. So now it's gotten to the point where it doesn't make sense for us to keep it for another year. So we decided to, after that 1-year lease, just leave, and that's that. So now that our lease is over, we can decide to put it in our storage and then decide later on if we want to either put it in a new Airbnb in the future or put some stuff into existing Airbnbs. And we kind of have a little bit of leeway of what we want to do. That's pretty much the story with that Airbnb. And I guess the lesson for us is I don't think we want to do furnished units anymore. That might work in maybe other markets, but it looks like here in Houston, they charge a premium for it, especially if it's from a management company. Now, maybe if we can find an existing Airbnb host that's not doing too well and their furniture is decent, we can kind of put our magic touch on it and make it better and get bookings. But it looks like if it's from a management company, it's just overpriced to the point where it doesn't make sense. Because I believe we could have saved a lot of money in the long run if we just got an unfurnished place exactly the same and saved that money on the rent, and we just had a one-time cost for the furniture instead of paying for the furniture month after month until pretty much forever, until you decide to leave. So it's a good learning lesson for us, and we all make mistakes, and I wouldn't even actually call it a mistake because we did make money from the property. So it wasn't all too bad. So now our final step, after the management does their final inspection, we can get our security deposit back, which they knew we were doing short-term rentals, so they charge us too much rent for security deposit. So once they're complete, we should be able to get all, if not most of it back, and that would just help us to continue to do more units. So we made it here to the garage where I keep a lot of stuff that's just not in use right now, or stuff that needs to be placed into units in the future. In case something breaks, we can quickly have someone go to the garage and replace the item. So we keep a lot of stuff here. And it's also the home to a few other Airbnbs as well. We have about 4 here on site. So we're going to be checking out what we have in this garage. So last night I had my guys bring all that outdoor furniture we talked about from the other unit and put it in here for now. And yes, it's unorganized. So it looks like I'm going to have to do some organization. Also, I think because this unit here has a pool, we might be able to use some of this stuff and place it by the pool. We'll see what we can figure out here. So in order to stay organized, I'm going to be writing down all the items I'm taking out of the car from the other place. That way, at any time I can just go to my list on my phone and see what's at a property instead of having to come here physically and guess. I could just check my phone. There we go. Alright, so it looks like we're finished with that, taking out all the stuff out of the car. So next, I'm going to see what I can do with some of this furniture and possibly move it into the backyard. So I was able to clear out a lot of things here. Now I'm going to take the remaining of what I have and go to the backyard. Let's go. So welcome to the backyard here in Houston. As you can see, there's a large pool here. We had these chairs already in the back, so I kind of put them there to feel individualized. Let's go back to the other one. I missed it. There it is, that one there. And then for all the new stuff, as we can see, it's all back here, and I'm just finishing up putting on cushions. And we've got 7 chairs here, and I can't fit any more, but we have to work with what we have. We're all finished here, and it looks pretty good. Definitely can fit large groups of people in this space. Can sit by the pool without having to go inside and still enjoy the backyard. So, that was a lot of work. It might not look like it because everything was fast and time lapsed, but I was here for a few hours moving these things around and reorganizing the garage. So now I'm getting out of here. I have about an hour. Go home, take a shower, grab some food, and come right back here because this is actually where the event is tonight. So See you there. So we're inside one of the units now, and as you can see, I have one of my cleaners here finishing up after a checkout today. They're not quite finished, but you know, I like to sometimes pop up on the cleaners to make sure they're doing their jobs, because sometimes people get complacent, but everything looks to be pretty good here. Let's see how we did here. Everything looks good here. I make sure they keep the curtains closed because here in Houston, it gets hot, so there's no point to have the curtains open and spend a lot of money on air conditioning and electricity when they could just keep the curtains closed. Now I'm back at the house and getting ready for this event tonight. Just want to show you guys that I printed out these flyers, and as you see, they're laminated, and pretty much while you're at one of my properties at this event, there's pictures of other properties, and there's a QR code, so you scan it and you get a 10% off code, and you can also see the rest of the properties that we have. And this way you're promoting everywhere, promoting at the event by actually being at the house, and then promoting other houses at the event. So we're just trying to bring awareness literally at any chance we can get to try to separate ourselves from everyone else. And almost forgot, also be bringing my business cards. I know a lot of people do virtual business cards, but hey, call me old school, but my business cards are very unique and have QR codes on them as well. That way you can still scan it on your phone, but you can look at it and have it somewhere and remember meeting me. I think it's good to have. So we'll see how this event goes.